You say they have flying platforms out there? Flying platforms are a type of personal VTOL aircraft.
They were working on those in America too, weren't they?
Yeah, back in the 50s. They were supposedly going to be used for scouting and patrol missions, as well as to spot for artillery units and transport troops into rough territory. They even got an initial prototype off the ground in 1955. But the thing wasn't fast enough, and there were problems with getting it to stop and turn in midair, so they ended up scrapping the project. The ones you see there were built by the Soviets after they got their hands on the American design plans. The American model used a pair of contra-rotating rotors to generate lift, but those Soviet models seem to be using jet engines instead. They must have kept going with their research after the US abandoned its own project. Now they've finally overtaken us. You gotta give them credit for sticking with it. If you get spotted by an enemy riding a flying platform, they'll go into alert phase. The flying platforms themselves don't seem to be armed, but the pilots are carrying Scorpion submachine guns and grenades. The recoil on the Scorpion is low enough so that they should be able to fire one-handed in full auto mode. That gives them some serious firepower.
Get your hands off me. I'm not going anywhere.
Really now? How many times must I tell you?
Tanya!
Each time you resist, your lover will suffer the consequences. Is that clear?
Vulcan. Damn you!
Hold it right there, traitor. Let's find out just how lucky you are. Watch closely. One of these 3 guns has a single bullet in it. I'm going to pull the trigger 6 times in a row. Are you ready? Looks like your luck hasn't run out yet.
There's no such thing as luck on the battlefield. You'd better stay in line from now on. The Cobras will take care of him.
Has the CIA dog been disposed of yet?
The pain is dead.
What? He may be a child, but he's definitely one of yours. I fear Khrushchev may have a hand in this. We have no time to lose. You must eliminate him before the final test.
Don't worry. They'll be able to handle it. I'm leaving him to you, the field.
The old man is always sleeping. Is he all right?
The end is saving what life he has left in him for battle. Normally, he's dead. But he'll wake up when the time is right. And when he does, it will be the end for the boy.
No. Sokolov isn't worth your love. You can entertain me until the rain stops. Kuwabara, Kuwabara.
The sorrow, is that you?
Major, Sokolov has been hauled off.
Yes, they probably caught him trying to escape from the lab. Didn't Volgin say that they still needed to perform the final test?
Yeah.
Then Sokolov must have been taken back to the lab. Get to the lab and get Sokolov the hell out of there. Pass through that warehouse and you'll come out south of the lab. Make your way inside the warehouse. Watch out for enemy sentries.
I see you've caught a vampire bat. The vampire bat bites its victims and sucks their blood.
Got it.
Speaking of bats...
Just save it.
Huh?
I know you're gonna talk about vampire movies. Attack of the Vampire Donuts, or Dracula versus the Space Hippos, or something like that.
Actually, I was going to say that bats are known to use supersonic waves to sense their surroundings.
Oh,
Bats use supersonic waves to sense their surroundings, so you might be able to keep them away by blasting them with a special kind of sound wave. Alternatively, you could try equipping a torch and waving it around with the CQC button. As for taste, I suppose there's no reason you couldn't eat them. Snake, do you hate vampire movies?
what?
Just now, you sounded like you really hated them.
I did?
Yeah,
Oh, well, no one really likes them, do they?
some people do.
Like you.
Yeah, they're fascinating, you know? Like the movie Dracula.
Don't say it.
Why not?
Just don't.
Are you afraid?
What?
You're afraid of vampires, aren't you?
Don't be ridiculous.
But
Listen, there are no such things as vampires. They're just a stupid, made-up legend. And if they do seem real sometimes,
well, sure.
you think I'd be afraid of something like that?
No.
Exactly.
Right.
I'm not afraid of vampires.
Uh-huh.
It's just that whenever somebody starts talking about vampires, I end up dreaming about them that night, and I don't need that right now. That's all.
Okay.
Haha, so you're wearing the black camouflage. The black uniform isn't really camouflage. It was intended to have a psychological shock effect on enemies in hostage rescue operations and stuff like that. But it should also make you pretty hard to see if you wear it in a dark environment. And it might also work on black, earthy surfaces like you'd find in swamps.
Do you want to save? Snake, have you seen the movie Them?
No.
It's about these giant ants that appear in the desert of New Mexico after a nuclear test. The army tries to fight them off with flamethrowers. The ants were so big that they filled up the entire screen. The whole movie theater was screaming.
An ant that big could make a good meal.
Yeah, well, if you find any, don't eat them.
Come on, they're not that bad for you.
If you end up growing huge like that, you won't have any place left to hide.
Just like a girl gone.